So guys, this is my digital brain. All of this information live into my natural brain and also into my digital brain. And how this is created. What happens is when I'm completing a conversation with someone, automatically the transcript is processed into Brain Graph, which is the service I'm showing you right now. And then a smart analysis runs in the background and extracts all of those information, concepts, and relationships between the concepts and give me this final graph, which actually can be used as a second brain from AI. And AI in that case will know all of this information discussed in all of those 18 conversations. Let me show you how we can do it automatically. I'm already using here a Zap from Zapier. And what it's doing, it actually has a trigger, the Crisp. Crisp is a software that manages my microphone. So every time I'm opening my microphone, Crisp is responsible to transcribe the conversation and save it in their cloud. And at the same time, they trigger a webhook on Zapier. So I can have it automatically as a trigger for my conversations. So when a new transcript is created, it comes right here. We have some formatting because we have to clean the HTML tags from the transcript context. And then we have two separate paths depending on the prompt I want to use, because I have two different type of conversations. So I'm running a separate code. And let me show you how you can do it by yourself just from the directions right here. So the first step is we go into Zapier and we select our trigger. You can select your email, so you can process email conversations, Slack messages. You can also set a trigger when a document is uploaded on your drive. So this document's context can be processed for the analysis, whatever it works for you. At the moment, I will do exactly the same thing with Crisp. So I want to run the process when Crisp completed my transcript. So transcript is created. I have to set my account. Great. Continue. That's the trigger. So we're gonna get, I want to get this one. For the next steps, we need to select it. Now, I will add the Zapier formatter because I know that the context that comes from the trigger includes HTML tags. And this is a weird thing. HTML tags are not visible on UI right here, but I know that they exist. So I would totally recommend you to do it by default. So you just do some cleaning. Okay. We select the HTML, action event, perfect. Choose to transform. It is remove HTML tags. Oops, I didn't add the input, and the input is a transcript. Yes. All right. And the next step is to add the code that will actually communicate from Zapier into Brain Graph. How we do it, come here into API keys. Here we can create a new token, a new API key, sorry. I'm gonna explain it in a bit. We have three endpoints. The first endpoint is responsible to send text content. So you use it when you have transcripts, emails, Slack messages, Teams messages, everything about free text, okay? This is the first endpoint. Here is the documentation explaining you how you can go and build this piece of code by yourself, but no worries, there's an easier way. We have it already installed here. The second endpoint is the upload the PDF, because we have some differences here. We need the PDF into a base 64 format, but that's also quite easy. We have the description right here, and we can have this click button to copy the actual code we need to run the Zap. And at the bottom, we have the third endpoint, which is it actually returns us the process status. So if you want to track the status process, you can use this endpoint. The analysis process takes at least 10 minutes. That's why we may need it. So I'm giving to you right here. So for our case, what we want to do is to send text as content. Okay, so I'm coming here and I will copy the Zapier code. And by the way, this is the Zapier code we have to copy and paste right here, which is JavaScript. I'm gonna add the code. All right. Action run JavaScript. This is important. You can, of course, you can select Python, but the piece of code I'm copying from Brain Graph is written in JavaScript. So you need the JavaScript. Okay, and I will open it here. That's the code. Into these green letters, we have the data we have to add as input data. So at the top one, we have the API key. Let's create first the fields. And we have the content, prompt ID, nodes, and conversation date. All right, and let's see how we can fulfill this information. First of all, we need the API key. So we go here, we scroll at the top, we give it a name like Zapier video tutorial. You see already, I had one from previous trial to record myself, but it was failed. So we generate the key, and this key is visible only once, guys. Okay, you copy that, and ideally you save it somewhere safe. If you forget to save it somewhere safe, just come here, revoke it, and then create a new one. So come back, and that's it. For the file name, this is optional, but I would totally suggest to use a file name from the workflow so you know what is this document, because you manage all this from the My Documents page. So I would add the meeting title. All right, content is what do we want to send for the process into the analysis, and it's the formatted outcome. Prompt ID, we have to go into my prompts. That's the most important part of Brain Graph. We have separate prompts for each different purpose. So I would totally encourage you to create as much the most prompts you can, guys, and specify for every single case what is your goal, what do you want the process focus on, and extract these information from the context you try to analyze and feed it into your digital brain. This is an important step, so pay attention to that. At the moment, I have 2 community conversations, business coaching, introductory conversations, client conversations, and something random right here. Doesn't matter, every one of those have an ID and we can copy it from here. So let's say I want to use let's get the client. So I'm copying it, I'm coming here and I paste it. Into notes section, we can add our own manual notes, like what it is, how it works. This is totally optional, okay? And for the conversation date, you have to add the actual date. We have it from crisp, meeting and time, date and time, which is right here. You can specify it with another way. This field can accept also text. It's not a date field. And how is it used in the process? We use it for the chronological time series of your data. So every time we have a new input, we can specify and track the history of these data and how they're updated during the time. That's why we need this field. But again, it's optional. And that was it. Brain graph transcripts here is the endpoint. It's a post action, and that was it. So if you run it, it says we have to add it. Yes, we cannot leave it empty, so I don't want to have empty at the moment, so I'm gonna close it. And yes, sorry, we have to run the code. Voila. So status is processing. We have the document ID 152, and this is the response. Actually, the response is what we sent to 8, and it's running. Perfect. So we expect it to run and complete after a while. And coming up here into the documents list, we can see it being here. We see the processing, we see the title we add, the date we added it, and we see the processing status, which means we received the transcript, we process for the steps, there are 10 steps for the analysis, and after that it will be completed to join the final digital brain. And this is how you can automate the entire workflow from your Zap using Brain Graph. Let me know, how do you try to create a digital brain? How do you use it? And I'm very glad to answer your questions into the comments. Thanks.